Afripods is a cool name. How did it come about?
Afripods, in the name, explains exactly what it does. So, African podcasting. And very rarely do you have a name that exactly explains what you do. It's a very powerful way for us to communicate ourselves. So, Afripods is the home for African podcasting.
Absolutely.
What does a typical day at work look like for you?
So a typical day for us at Afripods, it varies, right? Because we're a startup, we end up with doing so many different things across the board, right? We might end up in a sales meeting, we might end up in partnership meetings. We're doing contracts, legal inside the office, as well as consulting with our legal department. We're going out, doing customer development and discovery, also having internal meetings and internal trainings where we're helping our staff and ourselves to become better at presenting different types of skill sets. So a typical day, I would have to say there is no typical day at Afripods. It's a show up and we work to get closer to our goal every single day. And our goal is, and our mission is, to build the largest library of African stories on the planet.
What is the background story of Afripods?
Afripods is a necessary addition to the ecosystem of storytelling on the continent right now. With tech, media, and audio having such an exciting moment globally, it's a no-brainer that podcasting is going to take over the continent, and it's our belief that Africa will be the #1 podcasting market in the world.
What is your unique selling point or the thing that sets you apart from your competitors?
I think one of the biggest things that sets us apart from our competitors is that we are focused on the African creator throughout the diaspora. And our goal is for the African creator to take up as much space as possible and to be paid for their genius.
What are some of the core values that you are keen on in your business?
So there are 4 verticals of our business that are fundamental to us. They're hosting, listening, monetization, and community. Here on the continent, we know that you don't succeed unless you're working with the village around you and the people that support you. So some of our values are authenticity. We want to make sure that the creators are able to tell stories the way that they want to, in the language that they want, however they feel like communicating it, as well as creative. This is a medium where people are creating content, so letting them express themselves in this auditory way, which is so prevalent on the continent, is important. And then another core value of our business is trust. We want you to trust Afripods. We're the solution on the ground, and we're looking to infuse the needs of the African creator on the ground on the continent as well as in the diaspora.
Absolutely. And I would jump in and also say that, Ubuntu is big for us. We are because you are. So definitely that communal aspect. And then another thing is altruism. Where we have the idea and the value of caring about our fellow African and fellow creator. So those are our core values, I would say.
What does the future for Afripods look like?
Well, I would say the future is growth. We're really at the ground floor of what podcasting is going to be globally, and especially here on the continent where podcasting is in its infancy. The only place to go is up. Our goal and focus up for Afripods for 2022 is growth in every capacity. Growth in terms of podcasters, growth in terms of stories being told, growth in terms of listeners, growth in terms of social media, growth in terms of community, growth in terms of events. So really, when we look at what the future holds, it has to grow. We are only at the beginning stages now. Is there anything else you think?
#1 podcasting platform for Africans throughout the diaspora. That is the future of Afripods.
Without a question, yeah.
What are interesting milestones you met in the past year?
Wow, we've had a few. I think we're both going to be answering this one. We had the collaboration with Apple. Mm-hmm. We launched a very successful podcaster event to build community here. We did some community building in South Africa as well. We have done a complete tech revamp, so we have a more robust system, or I guess technology.
Solution.
Yeah, solution, exactly. We have a more robust solution for the podcast creators. And Molly, jump in and help me.
We also have done monthly community events. So we have gone to Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, and South Africa to kind of get some footing and word on the ground to learn what podcasters want. We do these virtual events and we'll be having more of them moving forward. We even had one last night. What else? Some of our big accomplishments. Kevin and I were featured on the only and first podcasting magazine on the continent. I had the cover. Kevin was a contributor.
You did the cover.
We got invited to work with Apple again in the App Store, as well as with them as a whole for Africa Month. And we have some really, really exciting partnerships in the pipeline that we can't really talk about right now.
Also, we partner with Nation Media Uganda, which is really, really huge, Monitor, and they have some daily podcasts that are hosted with us. And we've also, Nation Media Kenya is also a huge partner of ours. So definitely happy to be in partnership with those amazing companies. And like Molly said, big partnerships coming that we can't exactly talk about just
Not
yet.
In light of this year's International Women's Day theme, #Break the Bias, as a woman founder, highlight an instance where you had to implement this so as to propel your business forward.
Sure. So I think that's something that's really exciting as a woman executive in this space and a founder of a technology business is that, you don't see many faces like this on the ground on the continent, not even just here in Africa, but even in the States or in Europe. So this is a really exciting opportunity to lead in a way that can feel compassionate, to lead with empathy, and to also be powerful as a woman. And I think we've seen that in a bunch of different situations, whether Kevin and I went to speak at one of the media and communications school here in Kenya, and the women were really inspired. A student even wanted to become an intern of ours, and we took her under our wing. Or whether it's getting this cover and highlighting the fact that this is what a young modern executive on the continent looks like. That's another thing. But outside of being a woman, there is the fact that I have expertise. Like, I did not just get this job because I'm a woman. I got this job because I'm the best fit for this job. And you can't underestimate the fact that you get what you deserve, you get what you earn, and you put people in the positions to grow. And something I'm extremely proud of, especially having Kevin as a co-founder and as my colleague, is that we get to bounce off of each other. We have an incredibly dynamic team with men and women. We look at the continent, you see so many women who are moving and shaking, whether it's for Africa Podfest, whether it's for this magazine, whether it's for Podfest Cairo. There are dynamic and exciting people all over the continent working, but I do feel very grateful to be a woman in leadership in this position.
What do you love the most about your business?
I love working with this woman. She just said all of those amazing things, and I would second it by saying she is a great leader and has a really dynamic way of being able to listen and pivot in real time. So for me, it's being able to come in and work with the team that we have here, also being able to create. Molly is the person who recruited me to come and work at Afripods, and she trusts me. My crazy ideas and things like that, she allows me to run with them. And for me, it's having that opportunity and then being able to serve the creators that look like me and know that we're doing something that is, number one, going to be able to preserve African history and African stories, be able to empower authentic stories told by the people who are living them in real time, and being able to help people to monetize and be able to support their families and their dreams and their ambitions. So these are reasons why I love working at Afripods.
And one last thing. Thank you, Kevin. That was really nice, and I loved that. Thank you. This is so important. This job and this position and the space that we take is so important right now. I say often that there's nothing more fundamental to the DNA of Africans than storytelling. It's the way that we've told our history since the beginning of time. And here we are with an opportunity to bridge media and tech and storytelling, to do it in whatever language we want, whatever format we'd like, for free, and take up as much space as possible. So to be able to work with people on the ground, to be able to amplify their voices, to be able to learn new things, to be able to build community, it feels incredibly important, and I'm very proud to be part of the premier solution for podcasting on the continent.
What has your experience been like at Nairobi Garage?
Our experience at Nairobi Garage has been great. The staff is very friendly. We also have the opportunity to see other entrepreneurs and creators in the space, everybody working on their goals and their ambitions for their companies. So I think that that's also inspiring, right? You know, like some nights I leave here at 9 or 10 o'clock at night and they're, you know, well, maybe in the earlier hours, you know, up until about 8, there are other people here, you know, and so that's inspiring because I know that other people are on the same journey that we are in terms of putting in the late hours, putting in those 10,000 hours in order to get to where it is that you're trying to. So the experience at Nairobi Garage has been fulfilling and inspiring, I would say.
What does having an office in a co-working space mean to you and your business?
I mean, just to kind of echo what Kevin was saying, having an office here allows us to really build our business, right? We get to have a home for our team. We get to show up every day with each other, and we get to learn and grow and see face to face, which is so important, being that we were in a pandemic for the last 2 years. So being able to have an office and come in every day and build that nonverbal communication and have meetings and take up space is really exciting and valuable right now.
Parting shot or words of encouragement for business people watching you?
I would say to other business professionals, entrepreneurs, and those in the startup world, I would say a few things. I would say number one, always be authentic. Be true to yourself because you still always have to look at the person in the mirror. Number two, I would say stay the course. And something that I learned from a mentor a long time ago, and this kind of sums up both, is life is a marathon. And you can't run this marathon trying to be someone else. And so for me, that's really, really important. And I always find that things go well for me when I'm authentically Kevin and when I'm being honest and true to Kevin. And so I would say always be true to yourself, create your life, create the life that you want, and don't allow yourself to have any excuses or reasons why you can't. Always look for the solution to what it is that you find to be challenging and stay focused. And if you stay focused and you continue and you run the marathon, then you will get to where you're going. It might not be in a time frame that you're looking for, but it will happen. So stay focused.
As a parting shot and some advice for, I guess, anyone who's looking to get in startups or in business, what I would say is that you can't fail if you try. Because this whole process of startups is failing forward. And this is something I've had to learn the hard way. It's definitely something that I've struggled with, wanting to be perfect or wanting to be correct. And every time I've made a mistake, I've learned from it and I haven't done it again. And I've also been able to take those mistakes or the learnings from those mistakes and pivot them into something new. So don't be afraid to mess up. It's advice I need to take myself, and I do take myself, but you can't fail if you try. And I know a lot of times these things feel cliche, but they're only cliche because they're true. So that's what I would leave you with.
Please visit afripods.africa.
And if you're looking to connect with us on social media, on all platforms, our handle is @Afripods, AFRIPODS, or you can email us at support@afripods.com. Definitely check us out. We are the premier free hosting platform for podcasts on the continent, and we're building the largest library of African audio stories on the planet. Can't wait to hear from you. Thank you.
Boom.